Hi, I just hope I'm looking straight into the camera because I want to look straight into your eyes. I'm 25. I've got no spouse, no kids, no home. And guess what? I'm still breathing. I'm still growing. I am still dreaming. I am still happy. And most importantly, I am not ashamed. Now, let me talk to those who feel like they are falling behind in life. Sometimes you scroll through social media, Instagram, and you see rings, wedding gowns, baby showers, house wedding parties, and you think, what the hell am I doing with my life? Now, let me tell you something very brutal about life. Just because everyone else is sprinting into adulthood doesn't mean you should run straight into a trap. Marriage is definitely a good thing, but it's not an achievement. Having kids is wonderful, but it is not a status symbol. And owning a home, it is a very important requirement for happiness. You are not late. You are right on time for your story. You know, ever since I was young, I've always wanted to be married. And honestly, I still want to be married, but I refuse to rush into marriage no matter what. Growing up, my parents always told me not to be in a hurry, especially when it comes to something as serious as marriage. And that advice has really stuck with me for a very long time, even up to now. Not because I'm afraid of love, but because I understand what's at stake. Marriage isn't a fashion trend. It's not something you just do just to tick a box or, please society. It's a lifelong commitment, and I'm not going to gamble my peace just to wear a ring. Yes, I want to be married. Someday, obviously, I want to love, I want to be loved. I want to build a home with someone I respect and admire. But I refuse to make marriage the center of my existence. Because the moment you treat marriage like it's the ultimate prize, like it defines your worth as a human being, that's when you start making desperate, blind decisions. And desperate decisions usually lead to painful consequences. I'm sure you all know this. Look, I won't get married just because everyone else is doing it. I won't get married because I'm the only one left in the group chat without, a missus in my bow. I won't get married to prove anything to society. I want a marriage that is healthy, not hurried, one rooted in understanding, not pressure. What scares me even more, especially in today's society, is social media. Social media platforms are meant to connect us. Now they are being weaponized to shame us. Every scroll feels like a countdown. You're 25 and married, no kids. Suddenly, you are made to feel like you are behind in life. Meanwhile, the world claps for couples. They don't even know what goes behind closed doors or what happens behind closed doors in those relationships. And you know what social media does? It tells women, fix yourself or die alone. Women are being made to feel worthless just because they don't have a man in their photos. Their accomplishments, their joy, their inner peace, none of it seems to count unless there is a boyfriend review or a ring on their finger. It's very scary how fast we are being conditioned to believe that being single means being less. But let me say this very loud and clear. Too many people are walking down the aisle thinking they're entering heaven, only to realize they signed up for a life sentence of emotional torment because they didn't take the time to know themselves or the person they were marrying. Now, please, I refuse to be that person, and I want you to refuse to be that person who just married someone because you just want to have that title on your name. Because at the end of the day, it's you who is going to be living with that man. At the end of the day, it's you who is going to be suffering all those things and enjoying things that you shouldn't even enjoy in the first place just because you decided to rush. Personally, I am building my life first. I'm getting to know who I really am, what I value, and what I deserve. Because if I don't have peace and purpose on my own, I sure as hell won't find it through someone else. I would rather wait and marry right than rush into something today and regret it for a lifetime. Because remember, marriage is a lifetime commitment. So the mistake that I'll make, I am going to endure that for the rest of my life. And your life is so precious. It's so important that it's pointless for you to live your life suffering. There's so much to life that you can get. So no, I will not rush. I want a marriage that adds to my life, not defines it. And until that person shows up, I'll keep growing, I'll keep healing and loving myself to the fullest. Remember, there is a time for everything, and our timelines are different. One person might get married at 20, another person might get married at 25, the other at 30, and guess what? They are both okay. That's perfectly okay. Stop comparing your life to others. Your timeline is yours, and rushing just to keep up with someone else's pace is like, how people run for their lives. Move at your own speed, not at another person's speed. Because you have to understand, and this is something that I personally understand, is that I am already whole. And marriage, when it comes, will just be the bonus, not the beginning of my life. So ladies, one thing that I would urge you, especially if you feel like you are very late in life, don't. And honestly, the moment that you feel that way, it's because you don't love yourself enough. Because if you did love yourself enough, not having a man shouldn't be a huge gap in your life. You should be able to be content with yourself even before with a man. You should be able to be happy with your life even before a man comes into your life. Because how can you survive depending on someone else's love or depending on what the other person offers you? You should be able to offer yourself love before someone else comes to offer you. If you are not able to offer yourself love, the moment that man leaves your life, the moment he disappears from your life, trust me, you are going to be worthless. There is more to life than a man. There is more to life than marriage. And most importantly, follow your timeline. I know you want to get married. I know most of you want to get married, and that's perfectly fine. But you don't have to rush it. Just because everyone else is doing it, you don't have to. And you know what's dangerous? It's trying to find your worth in someone else. You think a relationship will fix your loneliness. You think a wedding ring will validate your existence. You think a baby will give you a purpose. But let me be real with you here. If you're empty inside, no one will fill that gap up. Trust me, nobody. Don't go rushing into a lifelong contract with someone just because your aunties won't stop asking, when is your turn? Don't bring a child into life that you haven't figured out yet. Don't take a loan for a house when you still owe yourself peace. I want you to look around you, okay? You've made it this far. Maybe you're still living with your parents. So what? You're not broke, you are building. Trust me, it's not everything that you have to share with social media. So many people are bashed just because they're living with their parents. But what's more important? You saving, having something of your own, building a house probably, or maybe just running a small business rather than you renting a house, which is going to take so much from you. You're not lost, you are learning. You are not lazy, you are being strategic. Let's be honest, rent is very expensive. The world is unstable, and anyone judging you for living at home, let them come pay your bills if they've got that much to say about your life. Look, you're not stuck. You are smart enough to pause and prepare. There's no shame in slowing down. You don't need a title. You don't need a husband. You don't need a baby. You don't need a mortgage to prove to society that you matter. What you need is to learn how to be happy with what you have. To look at your life and say, wow, I may not have it, but I'm still here, still trying, I'm still blessed. Stop waiting for a relationship to feel loved. Stop waiting for money to enjoy life. Stop waiting for a house just to feel at home. You want peace? Then stop letting culture, comparison, and these conversations control you. You want happiness? Then stop attaching it to things and people that can leave at any moment. Build it inside you from the ground up. And the next time someone says you're 25 and still single, smile and say, yeah, and I'm still free. Here's to everyone who is 25, no spouse, no kids, no home, but full of life, full of dreams, full of purpose. You are not behind, baby girl. You are exactly where you need to be. Now, I want you to live like it. Thank you.